Welcome, everybody, to the Hebrew Rebels podcast, episode 42. My name is Jordan.
And my name is Ethan.
And my name's Maya.
Welcome back to the show. This is your second appearance on the podcast. First time virtually.
Any comments? You're allowed to speak.
I'm so happy I'm back.
I don't fully believe you, but
Yeah, I don't believe it either.
we're happy to have you here. You are here for a very good reason. It is because you and I both did something for the first time that it took us way too long to finally do.
I want to say congratulations to both of you on finally learning how to swim.
It terrified me, but I just always, my entire life, I've always had someone find a wooden plank for me to stand on, and then they could just like
That person being me.
move me around. And honestly, I know a lot of times I had to like jump up onto giant trucks and like drop a ladder down to you, and it all worked out in the end. It was even amounts of work, but thank you for teaching me how to swim finally.
You're welcome.
It was much needed. Hopefully in part 2 of our lives, I'll be able to actually swim when it's necessary.
Yep.
Yeah.
We both played The Last of Us for the first time.
Ah, yes, that also.
That game.
That is what we're talking about. Ethan played it a long time ago, probably close to when it came out.
About 5. I played it when it came out on PS4.
So you played the remastered version?
Yeah, I never played it on PS3.
Okay.
Which I'm partially sad about because I get now why that was so like crazy, but at the same time it was so fitting as like an early PS4 game that like I'm happy with playing it then.
I think it's crazy that this was a PS3 game.
Exactly.
It was pretty impressive. I never intended to play this game. Pretty recently, probably within the last year, I remember telling you I'm never going to play that game.
Yep.
I don't like scary games. I don't like zombies. It just I cared about it being like an important PlayStation game, but I never needed to play it for myself. But then with the growing hype of part 2 coming, I'm like, God dang it. Like I feel like I should know what this is all about. And so I tried to finish it before part 2 came out, and I failed because it was hard for me to play this game. But you and I were kind of playing like along at the same time for most of it, I think.
Well, Maya and I were playing together,
Yeah.
and then you were playing, and then we were kind of parallel. And I know I like you said, I played this before. Maya never would have played this game if I didn't make her.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts before and going in? And had you ever heard of this?
I had never heard of it.
You hadn't heard of it?
No, because he got me my first PlayStation. So I didn't grow up with the PlayStation or having PlayStation games.
Yeah.
I had like the PS1, but then we never got the PS2 or PS3 or PS4.
Until I got you one.
Until you got me one. We were like Xbox people. So
Right.
So I had never even heard of it. And on top of it, I'm just like you, where I would not want to, I don't like playing scary games. Like I get scared.
I tried to make her play Tomb Raider.
I get freaked out. Yeah.
She wouldn't even play Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider. I got so freaked
The new
out.
one.
I couldn't get past that beginning. Like that was like straight out of a serial killer movie.
Yeah.
Like the beginning of that game.
Is it intense?
It's intense.
It's intense.
Is it?
It's intense,
Yeah.
yeah. You should play it.
I think I have it. I'm pretty sure I have it.
You should
Yeah.
play it because, side note, throw this out there, the second one is free on PlayStation Plus for the month of July.
I'm pretty sure I
Rise of
own
the
all
Tomb Raider.
3 of the new ones.
You really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So
Never mind then.
I might play those at some point.
I played the first,
Yeah.
I haven't played the second one, so maybe that's something else we can do down the road.
Yeah, for sure. But I feel like I have many more important games to get to before those.
Exactly.
Like I don't know what's next because I don't know if I can play part 2 yet. I need a little bit of a brain cleanse.
For sure.
That being
So
said,
should we jump in? Yeah.
well, yeah, I mean, we can jump into it. That being said, the game was not as scary as I thought it was going to be.
Towards the end, yeah. Or like after you get used to it, I think.
You definitely get used to it. Like it's stressful, but it's not like jump scare horror. Like
No.
creepy scary. It's just like I want to get out of this situation as quickly as possible.
Okay, I really felt that in the beginning though, that jumpy kind of scary of like
Yes.
something's gonna just pop out of nowhere.
Because you don't know what to expect yet. You don't know what the game's like structure is. It kind of has a pattern and a rhythm to it that you learn eventually. And by that point you kind of are more comfortable with it. But especially when you get more items and things to use along the way too.
And when you learn how to use them too.
Yes. Because I felt like an idiot in the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, throwing a bottle? Why was throwing a bottle so fucking hard?
The part in the beginning when you're hunting down that guy who like stole your weapons or whatever.
Yep.
That whole situation I just sucked at. They found me every single time, couldn't hit anybody with anything. I probably died in that situation too. I couldn't do it. And then by the end I was just a wizard.
It was interesting because I was able to kind of like help her not get too defeated. That's really what I wanted to avoid, but still to have her do as much of it on her own.
Yeah.
And watching her progress from
not wanting to play again after the first session.
right.
To, and we'll get to it, how dominating basically towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
But that sequence you talk about, I remember that was one where she gave me the controller, and I'm pretty sure. No, I led her astray, and I got her spotted. She got out of it.
Really?
She just beat the shit out of everybody.
I can beat the shit out of people. That was one thing I was good at. Like, I can fight my way out of things.
That was insane.
Whereas as long as it's not a clicker, you can pretty much beat up anybody. But
exactly.
Oh, the first time getting killed by a clicker.
Yeah.
I screamed.
The first of like 30 times for me, but yeah.
Like a little girl. It was traumatizing.
It's awful.
Yeah, putting the controller down, screaming, and like going to my shoulder, like, oh my god, and I'm like that. And being hands off, like it that also gave a new sense. And I think I talked about that before, but it was like not being in control was also like I kind of got to live some of that terror as well.
Right. It's more of a movie in that sense when you don't.
But like she was dying.
True.
I was thinking that too, where I was like, after I finished it, I was like, whoa. The real beauty of this game is that, and not a lot of games can do this, like very few, where you feel like you were part of that movie, part of the growth of those characters.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And yeah,
the characters are like they blew my mind. How much they make you care about them, and how like deep and how much personality they have for just being ones and zeros. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm grinning right now, but it's because I love Naughty Dog, and I'm so happy that that was my hope. That was all I hoped for on the other end of this.
For us playing it?
What you guys would take out of it, because that's what I get out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
It's like crazy. And I wasn't sure if like everybody would get that, but like experiencing it again, these guys are incredible.
Ellie might be one of my favorite video game characters.
Oh, yeah. I love her.
Period. Hands down.
I love her.
Like,
yeah.
She's so like cute and funny, but like a badass at the same time. It's like she's so awesome.
Yeah.
She has these like perfect like kid moments, but then can murder an army of people if she needs to.
And it doesn't start there. They work you up. And
that's what I was gonna say too. I was like, they do because when you start the game, you don't want to be there. Like it's terrifying.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, you have this confidence of like, I kind of now know how to live in this world that they've created.
Right.
And you have a mission, and you know what it is, and you believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
They do such a good job of getting you invested in it.
Yeah, it's really good. It was a really good game.
It was very good. I appreciate that it was like kind of short too.
Yes, it was beautiful, perfect length. Yeah. I think
only 15 hours really to play through. The second one is longer.
It is longer, and I have heard that, and that's why I'm like, we gotta get going, but also I'm trying to like let go of that and not rush into it. And we've been playing some other stuff that we can talk about later. But I think especially because like it's so intimidating. It's such I wouldn't say so intimidating, but kind of an intimidating thing to get into. It's good that it was less overwhelming playing it again than I thought. And it definitely, to get started, I was like, oh, is this going to be as good as I remember? Like, I know I remember it being good. And then kind of as you guys are like, whoa, wow, it just keeps getting, there's certain moments that like ramp that up and get you deeper and more invested.
Yes.
And when those hit again, I was definitely like, oh, there it is. That's what it is. That's what gets you there. And did you have a specific moment, or a collection of moments that you remember being like really sticking out? Whoever wants to go.
You can go first, Maya.
I think that the moment that just sticks out to me the most, because I haven't experienced this in a lot of games, or even the way it was done in this game. I've never experienced it done that way, but just like the shock of playing as Ellie. Like that transition.
Yes.
I don't know what it was. Like, I'm getting goosebumps right now just talking about it too. It's just that like, I was not expecting to play as her. And to even, how would playing as Ellie be? And I don't know. And you have that badass knife that she always carried around, and it came as, it was beautifully done. Like, I know Halo 2 did that, where you can
No,
sorry.
Don't, no spoilers.
Never mind.
No spoilers. We'll talk about that on another episode.
Where you play as Mistress Chief, not.
Yes, you play as Mistress Chief.
That's funny, because honestly, I didn't know very much of anything about this game. I knew the two main characters. I knew there was Joel and there was Ellie, but I've never really seen anything from this game. The only thing I've ever seen was a long time ago. It might have been like 4 or 5 years ago, and Sips was streaming him playing the game, and I watched for like 5 minutes, and it's that very first scene when she's hunting the deer. But when I first booted up the game and you're playing as Joel, I'm like, maybe I misremembered. Like, it must have been Joel. I'm
not gonna lie, I was so worried about like what you've seen.
That's
because
literally,
there's so many things that you need to like not know.
That's literally it. I didn't see anything before that, and I didn't see the stuff that starts happening right after she's hunting that deer. Because there's things bookending that one little quiet, peaceful scene, and that's all I saw. But yeah, when it jumps to Ellie, you're like, oh, this is cool. And it's very refreshing too, because she can move a lot faster than Joel.
Yep.
She's a lot more spry than that poor old man.
I'm really happy you mentioned that, Maya, because that is an all-time moment in video games for me.
Yeah.
The first time that happened, I may have set the controller down. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, what is...
And you start with a brand new character, like fresh, with a new character.
We traded off, and I didn't remember... There were certain story beats that I wanted to make sure she had the controller for.
Yeah.
And I felt it coming, and I was like, oh, this is like right before that in the on the campus in the lab building.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to play because all those people were attacking. I was like, I'm not playing.
I loved when the humans were attacking. I thought that was super fun. Didn't love it when I had to traverse through zombies, but I loved killing the humans.
I mean, I would argue that one of the biggest points of the game is that the people are scarier.
Yeah.
Dude, they're everywhere. How are they everywhere?
They're
everywhere you go, someone wants to kill you.
Well, I think there
across America.
There was a couple organized groups in a couple spots, but that would happen.
Yeah.
People would form, like, that's their area.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who comes through.
But why? Like, why did they hate them so much? Because they were quote unquote fireflies?
Who? Joel
like,
and
why
Ellie?
were they hunting Joel and Ellie?
Oh, because they killed so many of their men. It was more like of a vengeance.
At which part?
The entire game.
So if we start with Pittsburgh.
Uh-huh.
So if we even go back, if we start with Boston, that was the military trying to get them.
I understood that because they broke out of the quarantine zone. I got that.
So then we move forward to Pittsburgh, and Joel, they're driving through, and that memorable scene where the guy's like injured and he's not hurt, and he floors it and he rams through him.
I love that he did that. I love that scene.
Yeah, and Joel makes a comment where he's like, "I've been on both sides."
Yeah,
and because that's the reality of what's going on out there.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a group. The Pittsburgh group was a group, right?
Okay.
That you then, as you all the way through Pittsburgh, all the way until the climax with Henry and Sam.
The radio tower or whatever.
Mm-hmm, that's one group, right? So they try to get you, and you fight for your life. So from that point, you are killing one of their guys, two of their guys, three of their guys, four of their guys. You are slowly killing more and more of their men.
Sure.
And building that vengeance. So then we jump, and we're in Colorado.
Oh, dude. I loved that
Wyoming.
Jump. I loved that jump.
We jump to Wyoming.
When it turns to fall, right? Yeah, when it turns to fall and you're in the beautiful mountains and you have the river, like such a nice change of scenery for me. I hated being in the cities.
It's dark. And
when you get to where his brother is, I was so much happier there.
It starts in Wyoming, and I think that's different. That's just like scavengers and whatnot.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. But then you go to Colorado, and
at the first lab, right?
I think that's just
like who were those guys? Because you go to the lab, you're expecting, but why are they? But
it's a group in Colorado.
I'm not trying to like bad talk the game at all. I just
but led by David. Who was
David?
The guy that you end up going against.
That Ellie finds.
Yes, the guys in Colorado.
But that guy was in Utah.
No, Utah's the end of the game.
You're right. My bad. Yeah.
So there's two main groups. There's the group in Pittsburgh and there's the group in Colorado that you come with. But that's why I'm with you where you're like, it feels like they just keep coming. But I was thinking on the second playthrough, I was thinking about that. And I was like, oh, that's why they hated you. Because you had already killed a bunch of their guys at the lab.
But still. So you get to the lab. You haven't killed anyone yet. Like you get into the first lab. You're expecting to find the Fireflies. There's no one there. And then as you're trying to leave, here's this group of people like trying to break in and kill these two people that presumably we've never come across before.
They've never. They just want your stuff.
They just know that we're there.
Yeah, they found out you were there.
Interesting.
Somehow.
That part of the game when you are approaching that first lab and you're trying to like figure out how to get in and you have to like roll the I don't know what it was about that scene. That was the most stressed I had ever felt playing a video game, period. I was starting to freak out a little. I don't know why. Nothing was happening. I just hated what was...
That's why. It was quiet. It was too quiet.
I hated it, dude. I was like, I don't know what to do. I couldn't figure out how to get into this place. I almost started freaking out.
Maya's off the university. Remember, you're in the university and you're trying to get into the lab and you find the dumpster?
Uh-huh.
And or you have the horse and you're just like going through the camp.
Yeah.
Right.
She found the dumpster and I think by accident opened the gate. Do you remember what happened?
No.
You rolled it down the...
Oh, yeah. And it opened it.
I was confused because Ellie had said, we got to try to find a way to get over it. I'm like, okay, I guess. Like, do we jump the horse over this gate? I don't think so. He's going to break his legs on the other side. But I just couldn't figure it out. And it was super late. I've been playing for a long time. And the game was super, super fatiguing on me. And I couldn't, it was rough. But to answer your question of like the moment that sticks out to me, and this is spoilers. This is a 7-year-old game, so if you haven't played it,
we're in full spoilers.
My favorite part. My favorite part is when he rescues Ellie at that diner, and he like holds her and he calls her baby girl. I was like, oh my god, I love it so much. My camera. He finally like accepted her as a daughter figure to him.
Progression is
beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah. I like that he, in the beginning was so cold.
Yeah. Even like almost 20 years after his daughter had died.
Yeah.
It had been a long time.
Yeah. It made their characters just made sense like throughout the whole, like,
all their fights, all their
Yeah.
almost like
everything. It was better than, it was a well done movie that you were just a part of.
Yeah, I mean, every time I was playing, I was just playing so I could get to the next cutscene because I just wanted to know like what the next story progression was.
Mm-hmm.
What about the notes? Did you guys read a lot of notes? I didn't know if I should be or not. I figured they're there for a reason, but
they add story exposition.
Yeah.
It's a way to it's world building. It's giving you context for like some of the dark, gruesome things that people have been through. We read a few.
We would read a few every now and then, and so
Yeah.
I liked that aspect of it. But some
Maya was less into it. I'll be honest.
I wasn't into it very much at all.
I read a lot on my playthrough personally because I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I love that it's optional because for people that don't want to play that, you are still going to get the full experience without having to read note after note after note after note.
Right.
There are certain stories in there that like are memorable years later.
I looked it up afterwards, but there was like the whole Ish storyline or whatever that starts when you go into the sewers.
We missed that. It was the boat, the guy that had the boat.
See, I didn't see where it started. I just kind of picked it up at
Ishmael, the boat captain. So this was after Henry rescues Joel and Ellie from the river. Henry and Sam, the brothers. And you're on that beach, and there's a boat. There's a note in there, and basically there was this boat captain that was out at sea, but he got really lonely, so he ended up, screw this, whatever. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna try to make something, and he and other people formed that community within the sewers. That's where you fight a lot of infected.
Oh, that's when we found all those beds.
The beds in the playroom and whatnot.
The school, essentially.
Yeah.
And they survived for a while, but eventually, I mean, it's been 20 years. That's what kept hitting me was like, we've, without making it feel too dark, we've been in this pandemic for 4 months.
Yeah, right.
You can survive for a long time. Years, 2-3 years, but like 20 years, most stuff's not going to survive that long.
Yeah,
most people are something's gonna fall apart.
The crazy thing though is that that Ish guy, he got out of that sewer too. He kept going because the next area, the neighborhood, I found a note from him in that neighborhood.
Oh wow!
That's so really cool. He got out. He lived in one of those houses. Like I don't really know what happened to him, but
with the sniper,
that was fun. Oh, dude, screw that guy. Why is he so good at shooting?
I know.
That was so annoying.
That was so annoying.
I hated that part. When you get the sniper, it was fun, but
yeah, I wanted to kill that guy.
I did too. I could barely get to him though. It was impossible. I feel like it's not possible to get to him without getting hit, right? I guess it probably is if you use like smoke screens and stuff. But I couldn't figure out what the intended path was.
You gotta hide, go from house to house.
Yeah.
I think in time the shots.
Yeah.
Maybe the smoke. We didn't really use the smoke.
It seemed like every time I peeked my head anywhere, he just dead on shot me in the face. Yeah. Even inside a house.
Oh yeah, he would get you. Yeah, if you had any line of, you basically had to make sure you had no line of sight to him.
Yeah.
But I want to add like this the next scene that happens after that with Henry and Sam.
Yeah.
When Sam's in there with Ellie, and then she, it's the next morning, and they're like, "Where's Sam?" And they open the door, and he's infected. That one really hit me this time around.
I thought that was annoying.
It happened. What was annoying?
Obviously, everyone's going to go through it in a different way. They're going to handle it in a different way. I just thought it was annoying that Sam just like kind of shut himself in that room and turned without saying anything to anyone or saying goodbye to his brother or putting them at risk. It's like if obviously he's a kid. It's a hard thing to cope with, but like he could have killed all three of them.
He was asking Ellie the night before, "Do you think people are still in there?"
Right.
He was struggling with it.
Right.
and maybe he thought he could make it to the next morning and then talk to them or something. But how fast it happens, and even knowing it was coming, like, oh, that one, that was a powerful moment.
Yeah.
I think. And I remember it catching me really off guard the first time.
Yeah. It's also really interesting that he's in there with Ellie, like someone who was bit and was immune to it, and taught, like, to be bit and to be talking to that person that is immune to it.
Yep.
Yeah. Did he know? They didn't know, right?
They didn't know, but to just even get that perspective, like,
right.
To realize that that's what's happening.
To realize that that's what's happening, I thought that's what I think I liked the most out of that scene. And it made me think, like, as a player, like, I feel like in other zombie movies, someone's infected, like, you kill them right away.
Done.
Right.
And that's the end of the story. Oh, you're infected. We're gonna, you're gone. That's because it's too risky.
Right.
I don't know. So it made me question.
Yeah, this one deals with the inner struggle of the infected person a lot more. Even in the DLC, there's a whole written storyline about that too. That's kind of intense. And another thing that will stick with me a lot. We'll talk about the DLC a little bit, but the very end when her friend says, "You fight for literally every minute you can have with someone." I was like, wow, that's intense. It's like, it doesn't matter if we're going to die a minute from now. Let's survive that minute so we can have that minute with each other. Like, that's crazy.
I'll say now that changed my perspective. That is going to have a lasting impact on me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was very much like, no, let's just peace out. And it's like, no. Why? If it's inevitable. Like,
fight for it.
Get every last drop you can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If it's inevitable anyways.
As long as you have people to spend it with, it's like if you still have loved ones around you, then you
definitely
use those up. What was the other thing I was gonna say? The end. How do you guys feel about the end of the main story game?
I liked the ending.
I didn't dislike it. It just upset me.
Why?
It upset me that he lied to her. And I get why he lied to her, but I don't like that we finally get this like father-daughter bond between them, and then it starts with a pretty big, strong, blatant lie. And I'm concerned about what that will mean about the relationship in the future and in the next game, but it's that was a bummer to me.
I'm okay that he lied to her because I don't think that the Fireflies weren't really honest with her. I know if they were, that she would have still.
Oh, she would have totally volunteered.
She would have totally volunteered.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they would have gotten anything out of it.
Don't get me wrong.
Took that.
I get why he did it. I get why he lied to her. I just don't like that their like relationship is kind of like built on this now. Like the reason she's alive, she doesn't know the truth about, and I think that's kind of intense.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
So when this game first came out, a lot of people never wanted a sequel.
Yeah.
This was regarded as one of the most perfectly front-to-back ended games ever. Like, I heard that a lot. And I remember that, and I played it, and I was very emotionally invested in it, and I was 100% with Joel. Like, I loved the ending. I'm like, yes, 100. That is, yep. You screw them. Screw them. You protect this at all costs after everything you two have been through.
Right.
And playing it this time, I still feel like that, but it definitely stood out more. I was like, oh, this is.
It definitely doesn't feel right.
This is.
It doesn't feel 100% right.
I don't think there's a moral right or wrong to like to any
to
standpoint. It's like,
yeah,
it could go both ways.
The way she says, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like, I can live my life knowing that's true.
Well, no, I don't think that's what she was saying.
You don't think she believes him?
I think it was you've said what you've said. I'm gonna go with that. Even though I don't think that's right. I'm gonna take your word. And that's the kind of instinct. That's my takeaway from that. Because it just doesn't make sense otherwise, I think, for her. But what's she gonna do?
Nothing at that point.
She's I think she's at the same time happy, you know.
When she gets to finally live a normal life, you know, without having to run away from anything.
We learn a little bit more about her background. I didn't play the DLC the first time, which just seems crazy that I somehow passed at that. I missed that. The
DLC was intense.
Yeah.
The DLC was the scariest. I know I said the other thing I said was like the most stressed I was, but as a package, that DLC was the worst part of the entire experience for me. That was so kind of hard for me to get through that 2 hours. It was stressful.
Was it paranoia? Like you're just paranoid?
Something about that mall.
Which one?
It was so creepy.
The current day one.
Yeah.
And like there were really hard zombie parts like that you had to, like when you come back out after you turn the power on, I for some reason just could not stealthily kill those zombies, and I had to run, and they were chasing me all over the place, and I couldn't hide from them. They just kept, and I was like running out of items, and I don't know. It was really hard for me. I struggled a lot with it for some reason.
So I had heard something where they recommended playing on Survivor. So I threw it on Survivor for the DLC.
Screw that.
And we got to the room with the water.
Yeah.
And where you had the gas, you had to siphon the gas.
Yeah.
We had no ammo. I couldn't do anything. We eventually reset it and played on normal, and it was enjoyable again.
Yeah.
But I'll say my favorite thing about the DLC, and I'm hoping that there's more of this in the next game, was the mix of human and infected enemy types, and they really played with that. The main game was very much people, zombies, or infected, people, infected, people, infected. You knew how to deal with each section.
Yeah.
This one was like throw a bottle and send the infected.
That was super fun. I loved that. Yes.
And manipulate, like they weren't all focused on you, so you could still take some of them out while they were distracted. I really enjoyed
the combination of like sending the infected to go get the guys and then using a bow so you're silent and just picking people off.
Oh yeah,
that was super fun. I liked that. The DLC was super good. It was rough. Yeah,
that last fight was crazy.
It was
like
I was like, when is this gonna end?
And so real quick, you mentioned the bow. I want to know what was each of your like favorite weapon or favorite like technique or strategy after playing.
Well, it kind of depends on what ammo they give you at a certain time, right?
Like
you're sort of at the mercy of that.
If you just personal preference over the course of the game, if you take a step back, what did you enjoy the most, or what did you feel most comfortable with?
My favorite gun was the Han Solo gun. One shot kill guaranteed every single time.
With the pistol with the scope?
Oh, yeah.
That thing was amazing.
Yeah.
Do you remember the other guns?
I like the hunting rifle.
That's my favorite.
With the scope.
I liked it. It was just too slow for me. And I know you could upgrade it, but I just found myself using other stuff. I loved the flamethrower. That was very useful. I was not expecting to get that. That was a shock to me.
I think that's in the sewers, isn't it?
No, it's later.
College.
Is the melee the bottle with the fire, like
the Molotov?
The Molotov. I liked the Molotov because
those were
throwing it at them.
Yes,
you get too.
Very handy.
Watching them burn.
Yeah, or setting traps was fun. That was stuff I got into, I feel like, later in the game, and I wish I would have been better at that early on.
The thing
But
I've really appreciated was it really lends to using every single thing that you can like craft in the game. Like there are definite moments where everything is useful. I feel like I'm someone who just kind of gets pigeonholed into one technique and I don't mess with the other stuff that they introduce. I used everything. I used the smoke bombs, I used the nail bombs, Molotovs a lot,
those.
every single weapon. Like there's a definite combination where you have to use everything, and I thought that was fun. Because
and you have to, right? Like you literally can't shoot your way through this game. Like it's just too hard on ammo. And so something like developing the patience to like sneak and being careful and being quiet, and that actually turned out to be really fun at the end of the game.
I started liking it a lot more, yeah.
So you say the end of the game.
Yeah.
And I wanted to draw attention to the last sequence.
Yeah.
But she's
when you're at the hospital.
She's in the door.
Yeah.
And you've got that last like 6 guys, I think, that you have to take out.
When she's in the door?
Like you got to get through the door. She's the surgery, the operating room right there. Maya took every single one of those guys out without getting spotted.
Really? Oh, I shot my way through that entire hospital.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Oh, no. I snuck my way through that.
Well, you shot at the first group of guys, but no, this second group, it was so satisfying. She Molotoved the first guy and then snuck around the back. She like threw a brick. They came in, choked 2 guys out in that room. Threw a grenade, blew them up. Then there's 3 guys down. Molotov 2 more of them, and oh my god, it was so satisfying.
It was good, yeah. Even just using I didn't use the bottles enough to in the beginning too to kind of get them to go where I wanted them, so that you could do
sneak
a stealth
up behind them.
kill.
Yeah. I kind of channeled Joel's rage of them, about to kill him. And I'm just like, I tried sneaking a little bit and there were just too many people and I didn't know where to go at first.
Yeah.
And by the time I got spotted, I'm just like, all right, I'm shooting all these guys. And then they gave me the AR. I'm like, oh, these guys are dead. And I just blasted my way through the rest of that hospital. And it was very satisfying.
Now, I love that last sequence. When those guys are scary, they're armored up.
Oh yeah, they had a very intense helmet. When you get into the hospital, the surgery room, was there any other option but to shoot that guy?
How many people did you shoot?
1.
No, you have to kill him.
Okay, I tried to find a way because I'm like, I don't feel like I have to.
All of them. Some people kill all of them.
I felt like I had to. That had to have been an option, but I didn't even want to kill the one guy. But it wouldn't let me. I couldn't sneak by him. I waited a while, nothing was happening. I'm just like, all right, I guess I have to shoot you in the face, and then I
was gonna say you could have shot him in the leg.
Interesting.
I've thought about that after.
Could have,
but I don't know.
Oh man. And then the whole part where you're running, holding her. And it totally mirrors him holding his daughter, running with her in the beginning of the game. It's like, this is so genius.
Yeah. Such a really well done, thoughtful,
so well written
game.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for playing it with me.
Yeah. Because I know it was a struggle in the beginning. I think it was hard for me because those clickers, man, they really did scare the shit out of me. They're so scary at first.
I remember, I was reliving my fear.
Yeah.
And I played it alone in the dark to really, bring it home.
Oh, why would you do that?
Because I want to feel it.
That's all I did. I mean, I did have these lights on, but my room was dark, and I was always playing at 2 a.m. Yeah. And it was awful.
And then we turn all the lights off to go to bed, and Maya runs into the bedroom.
Yeah. I hated the runners more because I thought that their crying noises were so awful.
Yeah, I didn't like them either.
Mm-mm.
They're the worst. So,
Oh yeah.
what's the plan for part 2? Are you guys gonna play it together? Are you gonna play it soon?
Oh, we're gonna definitely play it together.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Have you watched any trailers for part 2?
Just, I mean, besides the stuff that we've, we watched the one at E3 3 years ago. The one that was in that weird like tent.
Yes, I showed that to Maya.
Is that the one I saw?
So I showed her.
Saw a few,
I showed her the first unveiling that they did at PSX, where it's like the forest, the cars. Then they showed her the Firefly logo, and then it's her playing the guitar. Oh, I'll never forget the hand.
Oh yeah.
And then her playing the guitar.
So,
oh my god,
that was before the actual like trailer, right?
that was the first like the game exists. Then
what's the one where there's like the dance?
Well, no.
Yes.
Then there was the one with the girl that they put in the noose.
Right, I remember that.
That was the first real like whoa, and that was what scared the shit out of me. Then at E3 they did the tent trailer with the gameplay. That was the first time we saw gameplay. So
was
we watched
that the one where it
that.
shows the cutscene of her at the dance or whatever?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then it transitions into gameplay, and then it transitions back to the dance.
Right.
But
I haven't seen anything past that, I don't think.
So they did a story trailer.
More recently, right?
Huh?
More recently?
Yeah, like last September and October, something like that.
Didn't they do something just a month or two ago?
And then they do like the launch trailer. Okay. I'm not watching that one.
Yeah.
But the gameplay, oh my god, I having just had my hands on this game, I was like, I want to really get the context for how they're ramping this up, and watching that one again. Yeah. Oh my god, it got me excited.
Yeah.
It looks bananas.
I'm hoping the awesomeness of the gameplay will ease my extreme discomfort of being in a world that they can even probably do a lot more with, terrifying me.
So I want to. Do you know anything about it?
Nope, not a clue.
Can I give you a couple things to?
I mean, I trust you.
Not story beats, like mechanic type things.
Sure. Yeah.
Every NPC has a name.
Why?
To make it more real.
I don't like that.
Yeah, no. In this game they put out a statement that they're making a statement about violence with this game. I really have no idea what to expect, but I trust Naughty Dog that they're crafting something special, and that it's going to be hard, but worth it in the end. Like, and we'll see.
So
like, I just want to go along with the journey.
How is the game being received? It's mixed, right?
Initial reviews.
Yeah.
It had a 96 on Metacritic.
That's fantastic.
It's the fastest selling PlayStation exclusive ever.
Yeah.
But
that has nothing to do with how good it is.
As popular things often get, it has been review bombed to hell.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people trying to be edgy and saying like, it sucks and I hate it. And you know what?
So tired of those people.
People have opinions. People are not going to like this, but
because like you said, people didn't want a sequel.
There are those people.
Right.
But by and large, this game has been received phenomenally. Phenomenally. And not to hype it up, but I mean, I think the hype was there already.
I think that's always there with the sequel too. Like there's always people that just don't want a sequel. Like, people didn't want the prequels for Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always people that like, okay, now you've experienced something, so now you think you know it all and you have an opinion on it, and you get to dictate its future or its past.
Right.
And it's like, no, you don't. You're not the creator of this, and
they're also not making it for you. Like it's okay if you don't like it. That's fine.
100%.
Don't like it. Move on.
Has to like it. Yeah.
Yeah. But, and it's okay to voice that you don't like it.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes people like go into things with just certain expectations.
Captain Marvel.
Just experience
tanking
it.
its Rotten Tomato score just before it even starts. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So I'm very much going into this fresh. I don't know anything. I didn't see any of the leaks. I didn't see any of the spoilers.
Yeah, I don't know anything. I'm happy about that.
It's crazy to think that this game was scheduled to release in February.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is definitely getting me excited for it.
This
is
is
us talking about it for sure.
And
are you guys gonna play
now
soon?
this was a big thing that we've worked towards.
Yeah.
This was quite, I think, a production. You said you never wanted to play this. I was first like, hey, there's this Maya, there's this game that I think we could maybe play together. She didn't even know there was a sequel. I didn't even want to tell her there was a sequel.
Wait, until when?
Until her brother was like, made a comment about it.
Recently?
I also like going into games completely blind. Like,
Yeah,
I don't like knowing the gameplay. I don't like I'd rather have just the system, it's the game experience itself teach me it.
Having played the first one, it's a little bit different with the second, now that you're in that world and you have like a frame of reference. But
and I'm like this with movies too. I don't like to watch trailers. I just like to go into it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm 100% with you. I definitely prefer that approach because I want my true opinion, not influenced by anything else.
It's also that stuff always seems so out of context too.
That's a good point.
Like a trailer or a 5-minute clip.
They're not trying to give it away.
Well, and all a trailer is for is to get you to buy it or go see it. That's what that is the point of a trailer, really. When it comes down to it, it's not necessarily to give a 100% accurate description of what this thing is. They're trying to sell something, so it could be misleading sometimes.
Yeah.
And so,
but then if I see a trailer and I have a different expectation than the actual outcome is, I don't know. It just kind of ends. I just know myself. Like, it kind of ends up ruining it. I don't know if other people are like this. Sometimes it works out
in the right way.
Like this.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Sometimes I see something like that looks terrible, and I see it, I'm like, that was actually really fun.
It can go the other way.
Yeah. Like Dr. Dolittle. That looked awful. Or Dolittle.
Oh yeah.
Not bad. I kind of really enjoyed it. So.
I am Dolittle.
I am. Yes. He just erases all of the animals.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
He erases their voices. So, all of that said, we're going to embark on another journey, and I now am as fresh-faced as you two.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Having any idea what to expect.
Yeah.
And 2022, when we finish this game, we will do a follow-up podcast.
Oh man, I don't want it to take
We'll wait
too
for the
long.
next pandemic, and then we'll play it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what an awful time to be playing this too. That did made it worse.
It almost, it definitely adds to it.
I was thinking to myself, like, why did I play this and watch Contagion during this time?
Naughty Dog, shame on you. I missed this detail when I first played Last of Us, but way too much toilet paper. All the houses were fully stocked with toilet paper.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all.
And now that we've been through this, we clearly know toilet paper is the first thing to go.
There's no way there would be any toilet paper left anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't mean that way.
No, it would 20 years later, it would be completely gone.
Yeah.
They found it all.
I want to know what's going on in other parts of the world. I'm sure the same stuff, but
yeah.
No, but I've always, even with Walking Dead, I always wondered
like what's London like?
Yeah.
I want to see what India's like. I can't imagine. Right? Maybe it's better. Probably not.
Oh my god,
they're doing better now.
You live there, so you can say that.
No, they're literally like real world news. They're doing better than us in certain places.
Yeah.
My grandma was saying they went to a slum and went door to door, 1 million people in Mumbai, and explained to all these people why they need to be careful. And they haven't had any cases.
Wow, that's incredible.
In that area. Yeah.
Imagine that.
Imagine people that listen.
I can't. I actually can't. I can't imagine that.
It's hard to imagine. So I know this was the focus. There's a couple other things I did want to bring up.
I want to ask you a thing real quick.
Oh, okay.
And it
Ask me
might
the
be
thing.
something that you're going to bring up. But I want to ask you
Ask me.
if you're going to buy something. Are you going to buy the 2K Mamba Forever edition?
I pre-ordered it.
I figured you would.
Yeah, but it's an Amazon pre-order that can be canceled, and I'm kind of waiting
Just to
to
see.
see what the after effects of all of this is.
Of what?
It's people are not happy
Why?
because 2K has become and gotten their reputation for some of the scummiest business tactics with their microtransactions. They've
Sure.
announced that their next gen games are $70. That may become an industry standard, but as the first company to announce that they're raising the price by $10 on a game that they already like stripped the money from people.
Right.
On top of that, you do not get an upgrade to next gen after all these other companies have announced next gen. The only way you do it is if you get the $100 version from the guy who died. Like, you know, I'm a big Kobe fan, but I'm putting that in the like coldest way possible.
That edition you can upgrade?
Huh?
That edition you can upgrade?
Yes.
That's weird.
And so there's some, I have an actual like slightly different opinion on the whole thing, but that's a lot of the commentary behind it right now.
Is there a way that you can look past all that and just like get it as a memento? Like
That's what I'm doing.
besides who made it, like
But also, I think what a lot of people are missing is that the thing with sports games, and at least this has happened like the last generation, 2K14 on PS5 and 2K14 on PS4 and 2K14 on PS3 were not the same game. They were two different games. It wasn't the PS3 game with better graphics.
Yeah.
It was a new engine. It was a new everything. So it's not just giving you the better graphics and the better frame rate. It's giving you two games. So I wonder if that is part of what's going on here. And they have said built from the ground up.
Yeah.
And so, unfortunately, like other studios don't talk about that. So they can just be like, yeah, we're giving it to you on both. And it's like, Madden isn't doing anything. It is the same game with slightly better things. They've not built it from the ground up. It sounds like that might be a year from now, and they're going to avoid all of this.
Right.
And so 2K really's got to be careful with their marketing. At the same time, like people buy this game every year, no matter what. It doesn't matter.
Right.
At the same time, I was going to get the Kobe version no matter what. So cool. I get it for free on PS5.
PS5, like, yeah.
What is a little weird is that you get the Mamba edition on PS4, you get the standard edition on PS5. You get the Mamba edition on PS5, you get the standard edition on PS4. But I want the PS4 cover. So I'm getting the Mamba edition on PS4, at least as of now, and then I'll get the Zion standard edition on PS5.
So you
still, huh?
You were gonna buy the new next gen 2K regardless, right?
I was thinking about it.
Probably.
I wasn't committed to it. I wanted to wait for reviews, and that's why like I hate that I've committed to the past gen one. So that's why I might still cancel. I want that freaking cover. I already have both the 2K10 and 2K17 Kobe covers. I'm also waiting for news that they're donating to his foundation. That's really a big part of this, and not just pocketing all this money off of that. That would be really sad.
That's so shady, yeah.
So we'll see.
Sorry, what were you going to bring up?
I was going to bring up something else we've been playing since finishing The Last of Us, and we actually finished it today.
Yes.
Nice.
There's that smile. What have we been playing, Maya?
Halo.
Nice.
Best games ever created. And the first one is just hands down as like the best campaign.
It's a classic.
How long is it?
It's not that long.
It's 10 missions.
Yeah.
It's really funny because they say there's a par time and each mission is 15-20 minutes.
Oh, really?
No, it's closer to like 30 minutes to an hour.
One took us 2 hours.
2 hours.
Oh.
One took us an hour and a half, another took an hour, so it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
It's about 10 hours though.
Okay, not too bad.
Over the course of it. We also played it on the second highest difficulty.
Nice.
Heroic.
what did you think of Halo?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah,
Are
your
you
first
kidding me?
playthrough, right?
This was like a dream come true. I have a weird history with Halo where I was thinking back on this and I was like, oh, I think when I was in India, I played Halo 2 multiplayer, like once at somebody's house. But I just remember like them like talking about how good it was and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I still remember the energy around it,
Yeah.
the excitement around it.
Same.
Even
That's
though
what I get every time I play it.
even though I was still like, I don't understand what's going on here because I didn't own it and have the time to like sit with it and get that. And then when I was in high school and I went to visit my cousin in the Philippines over like Easter or spring break or something, he had a 360 and there were two or three games that I played. I played all of the first Battlefield Bad Company. I love the Battlefield games, and Bad Company was the first one with destructible environments. And
Right.
I just remember playing that campaign and just blowing the crap out of houses. And like, it was great. And we played through the Halo 3 campaign together, co-op.
Okay.
So I've always known Halo and co-op campaigns. Now, granted, I had no idea what was going on in terms of like context and story. Like I still kind of remember certain things, but I didn't understand the bigger picture of what was going on.
Yeah.
And so playing through the first one, like there's things that I like recognized here and there, but actually seeing how it starts, the basis, I essentially am a fresh slate, and it's super exciting, and I'm ready to start getting caught up, and we got to play Halo 2 now. We finished Halo today, and we wanted to immediately jump into Halo 2, but then we had to get ready for some other calls and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
do you think I should play all of these when I get my Xbox, or start with a new one?
I think you play Infinite, and then me and you need to play through all of them.
What? No, you have to start from the beginning.
No, Halo Infinite's going to be out at launch.
No.
He can't play
he has to
50 hours of Halo.
He has to come here and play 50 hours of Halo.
Dude, I don't know.
We'll see. I'm not entirely opposed to it. I'll spend a week at your house and we'll just play Halo.
Fine.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
We could a week for sure.
Yeah. It doesn't take that long. We did it in like what? 2 days? 2 days.
3
pretty
days.
Good.
2 days to beat, yeah.
And how many games are there to beat?
5.
5?
But my brother and I just played Halo 5 to get the campaign together.
They knocked it out in a couple days.
A couple days.
And you could do the co-op online too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And cool. we played it on Legendary. So like if you play it at an easier level,
just blow through it.
Then you can just go through it lot quicker.
We played the first 2 levels on normal, but it was just like
it was just too easy.
I was like, that doesn't feel like I'm a badass like surviving and like doing all this. Like
That's why I played Fallen Order on kind of a harder difficulty. Like I wanted to feel like a good Jedi, like I wanted to struggle, but like feel like I was actually doing something. However, I almost wish I had played The Last of Us on easy because I did not need any struggle in that game.
Her brother did that.
Played on easy?
Yeah. To just get through it,
Yeah.
To just get through it, to just get the storyline.
I've heard I saw some recommendations of playing Last of Us 2 on Survivor, and I just don't think I want to do that. No, I might
just the little bit of Survivor playing that we did. It's really hard, impossible. Like you it's just so confusing.
They
don't know where to go.
They give you less supplies.
Yeah.
You have no hearing. The AI is smarter.
The listen thing?
Yeah, you have no listen.
That's gone.
AI is so.
The AI is smarter. So I would literally move, and they would just beeline right towards us.
They knew exactly.
I'm like, this is stupid.
No, that doesn't sound fun at all.
No,
it wasn't. However, so the other thing I did want to say was, I love this game even more playing it a second time.
Yeah.
Knowing what's coming, and not constantly being like, oh my god, what's gonna happen, and like just able to really take it in and with everything raised that up, and apparently other people feel that way as well.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd never play this game again. Playing it a second time, I could see myself now playing this a third time and maximizing it, like seeing how well I could do it.
I would like to play it better. You know,
that essentially, yeah.
Yeah. Because I was definitely disappointed in myself certain times. I'm like, you idiot, you know better than that. You know, why would you
Imagine
punch a
playing
clicker
this game
or
perfect? Like that satisfying feeling from start to finish and like nailing it.
Yeah.
I have too many other things to play on my backlog, so it down the road, but we'll see.
We will see. Anything else?
I mean, I did technically play 2 other things. Should I bring them up or save them for next week?
How brief? Because it is also
I can
technically
say that I
11:45.
finished them and save them for next week.
Okay.
I finished Doom.
We'll probably start. We'll do this again on like Tuesday or something.
Okay. So I finished Doom.
Uh-huh.
And I finished a game called Rhyme.
RHY?
RIME, and they could not be more different. But I, at the same time, very much enjoyed them. Doom's incredible. We'll talk more about that on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because I also watched the No Clip documentary about the history and how they made it, and it's up there with one of my favorite games.
Wow.
We finished Boy Meets World.
Nice. Very nice.
Yes.
Wow.
I love that show.
That really tugs at your heart. They ended it really, really well.
I don't know if I fully remember how it ends, but I'll go back through it at some point.
Fine. We also watched Fantasia.
Nice.
We started back on our Disney kick.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. More than I was expecting. I enjoyed it. And we watched Dumbo.
Nice.
Which was also not too short.
No, very short, isn't it?
Yeah, not too long.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Are you gonna watch the new one eventually?
Yeah, I'll watch it eventually. Also, we're gonna watch Bambi next. We're doing all of them though.
Hamilton is now on Disney Plus. So you guys gonna watch that?
Yes.
Nah, I think I'll pass on that one. Okay. I'm gonna actually cancel.
Are you gonna watch it
until they remove it?
Fair enough.
Yeah, we'll watch it this weekend.
Will you do that? Let's do that. Let's talk. It is like 2.5.
Oh, that's not bad.
Let's talk about that for the next episode. Yeah. Let's Rebels react Hamilton.
Okay.
Are you down?
Yeah. When?
I don't know. Sometime next week.
Oh, not this weekend.
Well, I mean, we can watch it and then talk about it at some point. I don't mean watch it at the same time.
Oh,
that'll be hard to organize.
No, but react right after?
Not necessarily. We won't have to. But let's just do like a Rebels React episode for Hamilton.
I will say, you heard what Disney did?
Took out 2 of the F words?
No.
No. Then no.
They canceled trials. You can't do a trial right now.
Just to watch Hamilton?
I respect the shit out of that. I'm not even gonna lie.
That is interesting.
Yeah. No, pay up. Pay up if you want to watch this.
Well, I would think you would do the same thing with Star Wars too, right? Or no, I guess because Star Wars is more easily accessible. Yeah. Like, you can't watch Hamilton.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
Huh, cool. I like that.
I love it.
I want Disney to start doing that with more plays too. Like,
it's like subscribe and cancel. You can pay for 1 month.
I want Disney to be the Broadway. I want them to have like a Broadway tab. I want them to corner that kind of market because I think
I'd love that.
That would be cool.
Because I want to watch more plays.
I do too. Like,
they don't have them everywhere.
Yeah, that's the crappy thing too.
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky. We can, yeah. But it's still hard to get tickets for them for the big ones. Like, like, have you guys seen Wicked?
No.
Imagine if you could watch Wicked on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
How have you seen Wicked? Like, what kind of prices are we talking about?
300, 200?
300?
I don't remember. I got it for a gift, but.
You got it for a gift.
Wicked, it just made me think of another announcement that Disney made. Did you hear what they're making?
No.
Hocus Pocus 2.
Yes, I heard that.
Actually, I think I have heard of this. I think that's been sort of like teased for a while.
Yeah.
It has a huge following. I grew up with Hocus Pocus. That was the Halloween movie that I loved watching. That and Halloween Town.
How old is Bette Midler?
Great movies.
98.
Oh man, they better film that thing soon then. No. She's 74.
Good there you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
I'm really happy Maya introduced me to that last Halloween, and
Love that movie.
Before this got announced too, because now I'm like excited.
Yeah.
Excited for that
With everyone else, yeah.
Like
a Disney Plus exclusive kind of thing. Probably not a theatrical release. I wouldn't think.
I think theatrical maybe. It could just be Disney Plus, but it might be theatrical. I'm not sure.
I feel like it's kind of a cult, not a cult classic,
It's
but like
it was a big movie
at the time, right? Really? Because I
think,
feel like
yeah,
it's
I
like
think-
a Disney Channel popular
No.
movie.
I don't think it is.
Really?
Yeah, and that's why I was shocked that
I'm gonna look up
it
the
didn't
box
make a
office
lot.
for this movie.
It 28 to 40 million. So it
Okay.
made 12 million.
See, I
So
honestly
not
wouldn't have
huge.
even thought it had a theatrical release.
But no, I was like, no, this
They
was
would just show it on the Disney Channel.
That's all I ever know
remember.
from it. Yeah.
because I think
Yeah.
it came out in 93.
Because they
Right.
used to do like
Yeah.
Disney Channel exclusive like
Mhm.
movies, right? That wouldn't
But-
come out in the theaters.
But you
they
know
would
how
come
those
out on the
like
channel.
Disney Channel movies look?
Yeah.
This doesn't
Yeah.
look like that with one light.
Right.
One camera or
Right.
something like that. Like it's
Where you look like
high
you're on a
quality movie.
soundstage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
was
you're right.
Brink in theaters?
Definitely not. That is a Disney
Definitely
Channel
not.
original movie, and it is fantastic. So,
But it was I
It's
was
such
like
a good movie. We're
can
gonna watch that soon.
I-
That is one of my favorite
Brink.
movies.
Brink was one of the first things I watched on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I love that movie so much.
we need to watch it. But yeah.
I swear, like one of the first thing I teach my nieces is Nunya.
None of your business.
Nunya business.
Oh, can I have some Nunya?
Oh,
Such
man.
a
It really
good
is a terrible movie,
movie.
but it's so good.
uh,
Acting
Can
is so
we-
bad.
you guys should definitely do a podcast on
Disney Channel
Just-
movies.
Disney
Bad
Channel
Disney
movies.
movies.
That would be really cool. And then if I can make one more suggestion that I would be happy to participate in. I don't know how you guys are gonna like it. I
Wait,
don't know
what's
if your
your sug-
followers would like it.
what's your
She's
suggestion?
getting there. She's getting there.
I'm getting there.
Oh, okay. I wasn't
Be, it would be to do Arnold Schwarzenegger movies because those are gold mines. Or not gold mines, but like they're gold. They're pure gold, and I think they're underappreciated.
What's your
And-
favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie? Hold that thought, and we will get your answer when we do
Arnold Schwarzenegger interview.
in review. Exactly. Or do we want to find out what it is now, and then we'll find out what ours are.
I think
Find out in
I
the post
can't
show.
pick right now. Yeah.
Okay.
These are just suggestions. You don't have to follow up on these, but
Hey,
just so
it's definitely a
everybody
thought.
on the entire internet knows,
It's
I
an
am
idea
an
for
Arnold
sure.
Schwarzenegger movie fan.
I love it.
I don't think
Of
I've seen
all of
too many.
them.
The last Arnie movie I watched, I hated to death. So
Which
that's
one
not
was
a-
it?
the newest Terminator movie.
Transformers. Yeah.
Oh
When
yeah,
he-
those don't count.
When he
Those don't
transformed
count.
from a human into
No,
a
no, no.
robot,
There's a very
Into Frank
specific
or whatever.
time
into Carl
slot
Carl.
of movies that were good that he made.
in his era.
Yeah, in his era. If it's
Yeah.
outside of his era, it's
Trash. Yeah.
trash.
Trash garbage.
Well, anything else?
I think that's all.
I think that's all. Thank you for watching or listening to the Hebrew Rebels podcast, where we discussed our thoughts on The Last of Us for the first time. Let us know what you think of The Last of Us. That's a very vague. I'm sure you like it. I find it hard to believe if any of you don't like The Last of Us, but you can watch us on YouTube if you've been listening to us, or you can listen to us on the Apple Podcast app. We have a Patreon if you want to go check that out and support us. That would help us a lot. Or you can like and subscribe on YouTube and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. It will help us at some point whenever you get around to doing that. But I've got nothing else. My name is Jordan.
My name is Ethan.
My name is Maya.
We are the Hebrew Rebels.
Till next time.
This will not be the last of us. Welcome to the rebellion.
Nice.
Okay that I did that?
Yeah.